Tom, welcome to Argyle, welcome to Plymouth, welcome to Harper's Park. You've got the stadium behind you, and you're sat here as the new head coach of Plymouth Argyle. How does that feel?
Yeah, very honoured. Really proud. It shows you. I think you see the size of the club when you sat here. You know, the quality of the facilities, the stadium, and the size of the stadium in the background. And it's a real proud moment for me in my career, especially in my fairly short coaching career. As soon as I connected with people at the club, I knew that this was a really great move for me in my career, and I feel like we're both craving real longevity now and stability, and that's something that Argyle brings me, and I can't wait to get started.
Yeah, you would have come here last season. You've come here as a player as well. Obviously, you'll have known about the club, but what was your sort of perception about Argyle? And then has it changed at all since you've come in the door?
Yeah, so my two experiences of being inside the stadium behind us, the atmosphere. I experienced it once as a player and once as a coach, and a little bit different experience as the head coach in terms of I was suspended that game, so I was really in amongst it. I saw the Andre Gray's equalising goal go in when I was heading from director's box to tunnel, so I was as in amongst it as you can possibly get. So I understand how, although I was at the opposite end, how important the atmosphere can be, how good it is here, how passionate people are, and ultimately how much the football club behind us really galvanises this community, and that's important to me.
Yeah, and you seem to have people on board already. Have you? I don't know whether you look at kind of reactions or whatever, but it's been pretty positive. In fact, almost exclusively positive since you've come in. So is that I don't know, is that something that you feel pleased about, happy about, that people are so happy that you've accepted the job?
Absolutely. I think the longer you spend in football, the more you manage to block out external noise, but we're human beings. Of course you'd want a positive reaction rather than a negative one. I think you'll know by my inactivity on social media, I'm not really one who's going to be sifting through it. Yeah. But I think what I can guarantee the football club and its supporters is there'll be an incredible amount of hard work from me and my staff to make sure that this is a success, not a short success, not a medium success, but a long-term success. We're a loyal group. We're a very, very hard-working group, and in my opinion, we're a technically and tactically very good group. But that's for us to prove. But the other two things we can guarantee, that is loyalty and hard work.
Yeah, you mentioned one of the big things was about kind of just getting a bit of, I don't know, stability and longevity, and also the project at Argyle seems quite kind of interesting because we are looking to kind of rebound and get back up into the Championship after a difficult season last year. What were those conversations like with the board around that when they were talking to you?
Yeah, I love how well balanced and stable the club feels. That was both from looking at it from the outside, but when you meet Simon, when you meet David, when you meet Andrew, I really felt well aligned with. Of course, we're in a results industry. We're in a short-term results industry, but there has to be a longer-term vision, a real process to bring you long-term success and stability, and to make sure that your performances are sustainable. I think Simon's someone who really understands that part of it, and listen, no one loves winning football games as much as me, and we'll prepare to win absolutely every single game, but we will also prepare something that I feel will give us a real long-term stability and success and a journey, and an exciting journey.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of you then, I think it's fair to say still very much on the young side when it comes to being a coach and a head coach in particular. However, I feel as if you have experienced quite a lot already, being a youth in the youth setup, being a captain even, and then stepping up into the first team at Watford and then taking over full time. So in, what is it, like 2 years, you've crammed in quite a lot. Tell us about the sort of things that you've picked up from that and what you've gained and where you feel you are now.
Academy football is an unbelievable grounding for a coach. in my 8 months in the academy, you're the coach, you're the kit man, you're the analyst, you're the secretary. So you do everything. You have to release young players, which comes later down the line when you're delivering first team players bad news. Yeah, it's a great grounding. In my 8 months there, I think I coached 70 games. And then you get flung into the hot seat, which I felt as prepared as I could be for. And then, yeah, it was something I've thoroughly enjoyed. Like I said, I've got a passion for developing people and players. I've got a passion for winning. Those two things are really helpful in the job I'm in. And yeah, I couldn't recommend more the time that I spent in the academy.
You've alluded to a couple of these things already, but probably good to get it from you again. But I'll ask you two questions here. What will the players expect from you as a head coach?
Yeah, so first of all, we have to work hard. We have to prepare well, thoroughly. There has to be a strong environment. I've been part of successful teams, and I've been part of failing teams, and yes, there's a difference in quality, there's a difference in budget, but the overriding thing is there's a difference in the environment and the culture, and how resilient the group is. So everything we do has to come from a foundation of that. Be a good teammate, be a good person, and then after that we can talk about technically and tactically. But yeah, the players must feel a freedom to express themselves, and from there will be mistakes. There will be when we have to deal with failures, and that comes back to the strong culture. But there will be a framework and a clarity that the players have. But within that, they have to feel that they have the right to take risks, to really express themselves, and from there, hopefully we provide our supporters with an exciting football team to watch.
Yeah, and on that, supporters-wise, what will they see from your sides, do you think?
So I'd expect us to control the football. We'll be planning to control the football. From that, there has to be a purpose. I'm not one of those who wants to control football because I like looking at the stats after the game, and we've had 70% possession. There has to be a penetration, there has to be a final product, a real purpose to our possession of the football. And from there, if that breaks down, we're going to counter-press hard, we're going to be intense and aggressive. That's again where positive reactions, hard work, to play like that you have to be fit. But yeah, I like to control the controllables, and let's start off with intensity and aggression. And I think that's when I talk about preserving the atmosphere and the connection we have with our Argyle supporters, then that's a good place to start.
How key do you think it is to obviously have a clear way in which you want either to play or to coach or what have you, but also have the ability to be flexible, I suppose, with tactics or personnel, or I don't know, how key is that, not to be too wedded to it? Or do you feel as if you are excellent at what you do and do it as well as you can, then that will be good enough?
Yeah, I think first of all, I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I think there's a way that you believe in, and there's a way to be authentic, and my way is I'm more on the adaptable side of coaching than the rigid, okay, if it's not working, let's do it better way. I think there's some things that you have to be really consistent with, and that helps the players, especially out of possession. That's one thing I learnt, is some things that are helpful to the players in being consistent and repetitive with. There are some things on and off the field that you have to adapt to as a coach. I think it's an important part for me, is being able to listen, being able to let others have input, and yeah, if something's not working, we don't rip the whole script up, but we can adjust it. For example, if we're having a load of possession and no final product, then that needs adapting a little bit. We don't all of a sudden become a counter-attacking team, but there has to be an adaptation to make sure we're getting the best out of what we've got.
Just to finally touch on the fact that we are only a couple of days out from the start of pre-season, the players will be back very, very soon, and you'll be, right in the throng of kind of getting ready for the season. How much are you looking forward to it?
I can't wait. I'll have to be honest, as a player, I didn't always look forward to seeing the grass again after 6 weeks off. As a coach, I miss it after 3 days. You know, this is why you do the long hours. This is why you don't retire as a player and just play golf, because the smell of the grass, the sound of the balls, the sound of the studs clattering off the pavement, walking up to the training ground. This is football. This is why I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to get to meet the players, meet the supporters, and get to work on the grass.
Well, we can't wait to see you in action either, Tom. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.